Have you ever felt like people just don't get you? You try to explain your thoughts, your vision, the way you see the world, but somehow it feels like your words are landing on deaf ears. They nod, they smile, but deep down you know they don't really see you. And maybe, just maybe, you've started to believe something is wrong with you. Because why is it so hard for others to connect with the way your mind works? Why does it feel like you're walking through life carrying ideas, emotions, and insights that no one else seems to notice? But here's the truth. Nothing is wrong with you. In fact, you may have a mind that is rare, a way of thinking that only a small percentage of people truly possess. Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists in history, believed that certain minds are wired so differently they almost feel like strangers in their own time. And if you've ever felt isolated, misunderstood, or even a little too much for the world around you, this video may be about you. Because today we're going to uncover the 7 hidden signs you have a mind most people can't understand. Some of these may shock you. Some may explain why you've struggled in relationships, at work, or even with yourself. But by the end, you'll see that what felt like a curse may actually be your greatest gift. So, are you ready to find out if you're one of them? Have you ever caught yourself noticing things that nobody else seems to pay attention to? Like, you're sitting in a cafe and you notice how 2 strangers interact. The subtle way one person leans in, the hesitation in the other's eyes, the energy shift in their voices. Most people just sip their coffee and scroll their phones. But you can't help but see the invisible threads connecting everything. Carl Jung called this the gift of pattern recognition. It's not just about noticing small details, it's about perceiving the bigger picture hidden behind those details. While others are lost in noise, your mind is quietly weaving connections, finding meaning where others see randomness. And let's be honest, this can be both a blessing and a curse, because when you see patterns, you also see truths most people don't want to face. You notice when a relationship is falling apart long before it ends. You sense when a friend's laughter is hiding pain. You pick up on the energy in a room, whether it's heavy, tense, or quietly full of joy. But the problem is, when you try to explain it, people rarely understand. They think you're reading too much into it or being too sensitive. They don't realize that your sensitivity isn't weakness, it's awareness. It's your ability to see beneath the surface of life. Sometimes this ability isolates you, because while others are content living on the surface, you're diving into the depths. You're decoding human behavior, seeing the cycles of history, recognizing how small choices shape destinies. And deep down, you sometimes wish you could unsee it, because ignorance looks easier. But here's the twist. This hidden sign of your mind isn't just about observation, it's about transformation. Jung believed that people like you are often called seers or visionaries, because you can look at chaos and still find meaning. While most people are trapped inside the storm, you can step back and map the storm's direction. Think about it. How many times have you predicted something? A breakup, a business collapse, a friend's betrayal, and people brushed you off, only to later admit you were right. At first, it feels lonely, even frustrating. But over time, you start to realize your mind operates on a different frequency. And maybe this is why so many people can't understand you, because they don't see the world in layers. They don't hear the silent language of patterns. They don't notice the details that shout to you every single day. But let me ask you this. Isn't it true that part of you likes this rare gift? That part of you finds meaning in being the observer, the one who sees the unseen. This is the first hidden sign. If you often feel like your awareness runs deeper than the people around you, If you find yourself connecting dots others don't even see, it's not an accident. It's how your mind is wired, and that wiring sets you apart. But remember this: being different doesn't mean being broken. It means your mind is tuned to a level of reality that most people can't access. And while they may never fully understand it, this ability to see patterns is the first clue that you're not like the rest. And as we move forward, the next hidden sign will take us even deeper into the world of your inner life. Because what happens inside you may be even harder for others to grasp. Have you ever noticed how loud the world feels sometimes? The noise of conversations, the endless notifications, the constant pull of responsibilities. For most people, that's where their attention goes, to the outside. They live reacting to what the world throws at them, but you're different. Your real world exists inside. You carry a universe within you. Thoughts that spiral into galaxies, emotions that shift like tides, and dreams that feel more alive than reality itself. Sometimes you find yourself lost in your imagination, replaying old moments, reimagining new futures, or exploring questions nobody around you seems to ask. And because of that, people might call you distant, daydreamer, or even overthinker. But what they don't realize is that this inner world is not an escape. It's your source of wisdom. It's where you process, reflect, and create meaning out of life's chaos. Carl Jung believed that some minds are not built to only absorb the outside. They are designed to dive inward, to explore the hidden depths of the psyche. That's why, for you, solitude often feels like home. Silence isn't uncomfortable, it's fuel. Being alone doesn't scare you, it recharges you. But here's the challenge. When your inner world is so alive, the outer world can feel shallow. Small talk bores you. Superficial conversations drain you. You crave depth. You want to talk about purpose, meaning, dreams, and the strange mysteries of existence. And when people don't match that depth, you can't help but feel misunderstood. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You're in a group. Everyone is laughing about something trivial, and suddenly your mind drifts to a deeper thought, a question about life, or even a sudden insight about someone in the room. You smile, you play along, but inside you feel separate. This is the second hidden sign. Your inner life is richer than what most people experience. You live in two worlds, the one everyone sees and the one only you can access. And sometimes that inner world feels more real, more vibrant, more meaningful than anything happening outside. But let me ask you, how often have you struggled to explain that? How often have you tried to put your thoughts into words, only to be met with blank stares or polite nods? That's because not everyone can travel to the depths you live in daily. Most people stay on the surface. You, however, swim in the depths of the human soul. And yes, that can make relationships difficult. Friends may feel you're too intense. Partners may not fully understand why you need space, why you get lost in your head, why you sometimes seem like you're in another dimension. But it's not detachment, it's the richness of your mind. Jung would say that this is not just a personality quirk. It's the mark of a rare psyche, one that carries both a burden and a gift. The burden is isolation, the sense of being alone even in a crowded room. But the gift, it's vision. Because the answers most people are too busy to search for are the very questions you wrestle with every day. So the next time you feel too much, or like people don't get your silence, remember this: your mind was designed for depth, and depth will always scare the shallow. This is why your inner life matters. This is why others can't understand you. And this is why your journey often feels like a lonely road, but one with extraordinary meaning. And speaking of meaning, the next hidden sign reveals why your emotions, the very thing people tell you to control or suppress, are actually one of your greatest strengths. Have you ever been told you're too emotional? Maybe as a child you cried easily, or you felt things so deeply that others dismissed you as too sensitive. And maybe, over the years, you've even tried to hide it, to toughen up, to pretend that things don't cut you as deeply as they do. But here's the truth. Your emotions aren't a weakness. They are intelligence. Carl Jung often spoke about the feeling function, the ability to sense truth, not through cold logic, but through the heart. For minds like yours, emotions are not random waves of chaos. They are signals. They tell you when something is wrong, when someone is hiding pain, when a situation doesn't align with your inner values. Think about it. How many times have you walked into a room and felt the energy instantly? You knew something was off, even before a single word was spoken. That's not paranoia. That's emotional awareness. A radar that most people don't even know exists. But here's the problem. The modern world doesn't value this. We're told to be rational, be practical, and not take things personally. And yet, some of the most profound truths about human nature are only revealed through emotion. Logic can explain how things work, but emotions explain why they matter. For you, feelings are not fleeting. They sink deep. A movie, a song, a single sentence can stay with you for years. People might forget what was said in a conversation, but you'll remember how it made you feel. And that memory shapes your choices, your relationships, and your path in life. Of course, this depth comes with challenges. When you feel so much, the world can feel overwhelming. You pick up on pain others ignore. You carry burdens that aren't even yours. And sometimes you wonder, why do I care so much when no one else seems to? But maybe you should flip the question. Maybe it's not about why you feel too much. Maybe it's about why others feel too little. Because here's the paradox. The very thing people misunderstand about you, your emotional depth, is the same thing that allows you to connect, to create, to heal. It's why strangers open up to you. It's why you can look into someone's eyes and sense their story before they say a word. It's why you sometimes feel like you're carrying not just your own heart, but the hearts of others too. Jung believed that individuals with this gift often become healers, artists, creators, philosophers, people who turn raw emotion into meaning. And maybe that's you. Maybe your tears, your intensity, your deep empathy aren't flaws. Maybe they are the raw materials of wisdom. But here's the catch. Not everyone will understand it. Some will take advantage of it. Others will dismiss it. And a few will run from it because your depth forces them to face their own emptiness. So, if you've ever been told you're too emotional, remember this. What they call too much is exactly what makes you rare. Your emotions are not weakness. They are the compass guiding you toward truth, and that is the third hidden sign. Now, in the next part, we're going to explore something even more mysterious. Why your dreams, symbols, and unconscious mind may hold messages most people will never even notice. Tell me honestly, have you ever had a dream that felt too real to ignore? Not the random, messy dreams that vanish the moment you wake up, but the ones that stick, the ones that feel like messages, the ones you wake from with goosebumps, as if your soul is trying to whisper something your mind hasn't yet understood. If that's you, it's another hidden sign. Carl Jung believed that our unconscious mind doesn't speak in words. It speaks in images, symbols, and archetypes. And while most people dismiss their dreams as nonsense, your mind knows better. For you, dreams are not just dreams. They are maps, clues, windows into the deeper layers of who you are. Think about it. How many times have you had a dream that later revealed a truth? Maybe you dreamt of water before a major life change. Maybe you saw yourself standing at a door before a new chapter began. Or maybe you've had the same dream over and over again, and deep down, you know it's not random. It's a message waiting for you to decode. This is what makes you different. While others forget their dreams the second they wake up, you hold on to them. You reflect. You ask, what is this trying to tell me? That curiosity alone sets you apart because it means you're tuned into your unconscious. The part of your mind that holds the truths your conscious self isn't ready to face. And it's not just in dreams. You notice symbols everywhere. A bird crossing your path at the exact right moment. A number that keeps repeating. A phrase you randomly hear that feels like it was meant just for you. Most people brush it off as coincidence. But you feel the weight of it. You sense meaning woven into the fabric of reality. But let's be real. This isn't easy. Because when you live in a world of symbols, other people think you're overanalyzing. They don't understand why a dream or a sign means so much to you. They see randomness where you see patterns. They see coincidence where you see connection. And so again, you're left feeling misunderstood. Yet Jung would argue, this ability to listen to your unconscious is rare, and it's powerful. He called it individuation, the lifelong process of becoming who you truly are by integrating the hidden parts of yourself. And the unconscious, through dreams and symbols, is your greatest guide on that journey. So if you've ever woken up from a dream that felt like a prophecy, if you've ever felt a chill when you noticed a symbol that seemed to find you, don't ignore it. That's your psyche speaking in its own language. And most people will never hear it because they're too distracted by the noise of everyday life. But you were born to listen. This is the fourth hidden sign. Your unconscious mind speaks louder than the outside world. And the fact that you can hear it, feel it, and even be guided by it makes you different from almost everyone around you. And in the next hidden sign, we'll uncover perhaps the hardest truth of all. Why solitude feels like both your curse and your greatest teacher. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been surrounded by people yet felt completely alone? It's strange, isn't it? You can laugh with friends, talk with co-workers, even sit at a family dinner, and still, deep down, you feel like an outsider, like no one truly sees you. If you've felt this, it's not because you're broken, it's because solitude is woven into the fabric of your mind. Carl Jung believed that certain individuals carry a rare kind of awareness, the kind that makes ordinary life feel too shallow. For these people, solitude isn't just about being physically alone. It's about the inner space where they can finally breathe, finally hear their own thoughts, finally feel whole. And chances are, this is you. But let's be real. Solitude is not easy. Because as much as you crave it, it also comes with loneliness. You look around and realize most people don't understand why you need to withdraw, why silence feels like oxygen, why small talk leaves you starving for something deeper. They think you're antisocial, but in truth, you're protecting your energy, your mind, your soul. Think about the moments when you felt most alive. Weren't they often in solitude? Reading a book that cracked open your perspective, writing your thoughts in a journal, staring at the stars and realizing how small, yet how infinite you are. These moments didn't require an audience. They required space. Space to feel, to think, to exist as your true self. But solitude also brings pain. There are nights you wish someone could step into your inner world and understand it fully. Nights where the silence feels heavy, where you question if anyone will ever truly connect with the depths of who you are. And maybe you've wondered, will I always be misunderstood? Here's the truth. Yes, solitude sets you apart, but it's also what shapes you. History's greatest thinkers, creators, philosophers, Jung himself included, all walked the lonely path of solitude. Because only in solitude do you find the courage to listen to your inner voice when the world is screaming at you to conform. And maybe this is why people can't understand you. They don't understand why you'd rather sit alone with your thoughts than be at a loud party. They don't see that in solitude, you're not running away, you're returning home. So if you've ever felt like solitude is both your curse and your sanctuary, that's the fifth hidden sign. Your mind isn't built for endless noise. It's built for reflection, for depth, for truth. And while that may mean you walk a lonelier road, it also means you're walking the road of authenticity, the road most people are too afraid to take. Now, let's tie this all together. If you've seen yourself in these signs, the ability to see patterns, the richness of your inner world, the depth of your emotions, the voice of your unconscious, and the need for solitude, then maybe the truth is this: you have a mind most people can't understand. And yes, that will make life harder. But it will also make your journey more meaningful, because the world has enough surface thinkers. What it needs is you.